Top 2 bands Paul McCartney hated. Even as a bassist, Paul McCartney approached music more like a composer and arranger. He crafted bass lines that stood out but were primarily intended to support the lyrics, melody, and lead vocals. Since his Beatles days, McCartney has led Wings, had a hugely successful solo career, and remained a constant presence in popular culture. During the late 1960s, McCartney was the main force behind trying to keep the Beatles together, despite the growing financial pressures and artistic differences within the band. While he's known for his generally friendly and easygoing nature, McCartney hasn't hesitated to make some critical remarks about fellow musicians. Whether it was due to musical differences, rivalries, or just personal preferences, today we're diving into two of the bands that Paul McCartney didn't quite get along with. Oasis. From 1994 to 1998, Oasis were insanely popular, therefore they could be regarded as the defining British rock band of their era. Furthermore, many of their songs have aged quite well. The Gallagher brothers have taken issue with many artists, so it stands to reason many artists would take issue with them. However, McCartney has also expressed criticism of the band's mindset, particularly when it comes to the rivalry Oasis had with the Beatles. Noel Gallagher, the band songwriter, has made several comments about the Beatles, which McCartney has sometimes found dismissive. McCartney is among the list of names who disliked Oasis in their heyday. He felt they were derivative. They're derivative and they think too much of themselves, McCartney once said. They mean nothing to me. Oasis were young, fresh and writing good tunes. I thought the biggest mistake they made was when they said, "We're going to be bigger than the Beatles." I thought so many people have said that, and it's the kiss of death. Be bigger than the Beatles, but don't say it. The minute you say it, everything you do from then on is going to be looked at in the light of that statement. The Rolling Stones. Paul McCartney admits that there was competition and rivalry between the two bands. Though the alleged feud between the Beatles and the Rolling Stones has been largely overblown, they have insulted each other over the years. McCartney has insulted the band's musicianship on more than one occasion, once saying that they simply copied everything the Beatles did. We wrote their first single, "I Wanna Be Your Man." We go psychedelic, they go psychedelic. We dress as wizards, they dress as wizards. But the quibbling kicked off once more in the 21st century when Paul McCartney seemingly dismissed the Stones as a blues cover band, prompting Mick Jagger to hit back in interviews and even on stage. Whereas there were a little more influences. There's a lot of differences, but I love the Stones, but I'm with you. The Beatles were better. McCartney said the Beatles were better than the Stones because the Stones were really just a blues cover band. It's not untrue that the Stones were bluesy, but it was a bit of a put down on their popularity. Jagger pointed out that the Beatles were also really just a blues cover band when they started out. Every band is a cover band at the beginning, because that's how it goes. While there have been criticisms and some friction, it's rare to find outright hatred among rock musicians toward McCartney, as he is widely respected for his contributions to music. What do you think, was this feud blown out of proportion, or was there real animosity between Paul McCartney and these two bands? Let us know in the comments below.